Step back and let's go.
1 week ago, I uploaded a video to my YouTube channel titled Tati. This video was a direct response to the video that Tati Westbrook uploaded to her channel titled By Sister. In this video, I want to make it very, very clear. I will not ask for sympathy, and I will definitely not ask for forgiveness either, but I will ask that you watch this entire thing all the way through, and it is very important to me that this video has all the information, all the facts, all the receipts, and is current and present because I will not be addressing it again after this matter. First and foremost, I do want to issue a thank you to both Jeffree and Tati for taking some of the responsibility for blowing this whole thing up and for starting everything. I have a few notes in front of me here and I want to make sure that I hit every single point and that I don't miss anything. But that being said, starting off, my friends and I all attended Coachella weekend 1 from April 11th through 15th, and I had an artist pass provided to me by a brand. We had a really, really good weekend. I mean, you guys saw the Snapchats, Instagram pictures, and outfits, and my video. It was really, really fun, and we will definitely never forget it. But at Coachella, I had drama with a boy that I had been talking with for 5 months prior, and it all kind of clouded the overall memories. Later on that very same week, on April 19th, my best friends and I in the family group chat made the last minute decision that we wanted to attend Coachella weekend 2 again to kind of relive those memories, but boy free. I texted my manager Jake that very same night asking if it'd be possible to get us in for the next day since it was already Friday, meaning we're missing the first day of the festival, so therefore we could only go on Saturday. Because it was so last second, we were only able to get VIP tickets, which is not the same as artist, but we headed over anyway and wanted to have a really, really good time. VIP, although VIP, is still very, very open to the public. Artist passes, however, are passes that you cannot buy. The only way you can get a hold of them is through a brand getting them from the actual festival or through having a personal connection to one of the artists or bands that are playing. I had remembered from weekend 1 that my friend Nikita Dragon, who I was with a lot of the time, was brought by Sugar Bear Hair and had an artist pass, personal security, and backstage passes and was very, very taken care of and safe. And I texted Nikita and asked her if she had a connection to the Sugar Bear Hair team that could potentially help me out. Nikita replied right away and she gave the Sugar Bear Hair team my personal phone number, to which they reached out to me and offered to come rescue me with a pass and backstage access and security to make sure that I was okay and was able to enjoy the festival along with my friends.
You went to Coachella, magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day.
Despite what Tati said in her video, this whole situation was definitely not a big scheme that was orchestrated beforehand. It really did happen on the spot. The Sugar Bear Hair team texted me the proposal right away. No money was involved, and with no time to negotiate, in a panic, I signed, and that was that on that.
James Charles, he had 9 days after Coachella to talk to me.
On Monday, April 22nd, which was one day after Coachella, I was due to post my stories based on my contract. And up until that moment, I honestly had not thought about the fact that Tati was a Sugar Bear Hair competitor. And in that moment, I thought that as a friend, she deserved a courtesy text to let her know the context of the sponsorship and everything that was going on.
To not even get a phone call.
Before posting my stories, I actually did text Tati first out of respect for her, giving her heads up about the sponsorship, but she was immediately upset. I tried my best to kind of explain the entire situation and also give her a direct apology as well, but at this point, I had signed the contract and I absolutely had to post it. There was no getting out of it. 1 hour later, Tati had uploaded all of her Instagram stories of her crying, talking about the friends of the community that haven't really supported her, how she was alone, and how she felt very, very hurt and betrayed. Very quickly, people put 2 and 2 together and realized that this was clearly about me, and I started getting thousands and thousands of tweets and comments and texts about the whole situation. I made countless attempts to text both Tati and her husband James, and many phone calls as well, trying to reach them, all of which they did not respond to. And later on that night, while sitting in my hotel in San Francisco, because I could not reach Tati, I issued a public apology directly on my Instagram because I really wanted to make sure she saw that I was sorry, and I wanted to end the situation by taking full responsibility for my actions. Over the next several days, I made countless attempts to contact both Tati and her husband James on all their different phone numbers. I texted and called Tati's business number, her family number, and also James's personal phone number as well. After a full entire week of trying to reach out and handle things in private with Tati and her husband James and getting no response, I figured at this time it'd be best to just respect their space. I want to discuss a few of the things in Tati's video that were misleading and false.
It was because he has a teenage audience and it would just be inappropriate.
Now, this time was just confusing to me, mostly because this conversation never actually happened. But even though that is the case, I've still multiple times talked about her products on all my social media networks. I have to word okay, I forgot to say too. Hello. I'm going to a really important event later on tonight. My best friend...
we are going to a very important event.
Yes, this is true. And this is a very important launch to me because it is my best friend Tati. She's launching something new on Halo Beauty. Super proud of her. By the time this video is out, it'll already be up. So go check it out. Promo for Tati. Love you the most.
Who doesn't need a little beauty boost every now and then? Two of the following statements are real claims made by the original Halo Beauty Booster supplement.
Oh!
Which are the real ones?
Can I just say I love you guys for putting a Halo question in there.
We originally
I love you for that.
I just received my package from Halo Beauty. This is Tati's brand new brand. I did not tell Tati that I was buying these, but I did pay for these myself because I just wanted to support her, and I'm so happy. I know she's getting a lot of backlash on this, which is making me so mad because I know she's worked so hard on these for the past several years now. Congratulations, Tati. I love you literally so much, and I'm very, very proud of you and all your hard work. I do want to keep this video strictly based on facts and receipts, but one of the most hurtful things Tati did in her video was bring up my mom and question her parenting. My mom is the strongest woman I have ever met. She is kind, she is creative, and she is caring. She is a cancer survivor, and she balances a marriage, a full-time job, and raising 2 boys with absolutely crazy lives. She's taught me so much in the past, and when I've made a mistake, she has never turned to public humiliation as a form of punishment. All that being said, I love my mom, and I think she's doing a damn good job, if I do say so myself.
Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again.
First of all, I'm a 19-year-old virgin.
Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room.
I don't really get a lot of action. We have probably guessed this at this point. So the fact that Tati brought this up blows my mind because she knows the real story. The story that we're talking about here is a situation that happened when I was in Seattle for Tati's surprise party with a boy named Sam. In Tati's video, she mentioned that she was disgusted and had to apologize to her family for me apparently saying things that I wanted to do to a waiter and then justifying those actions by saying, I am a celebrity. Okay, this literally did not happen. What did happen is that me, Jeffree, Nate, and my best friend Drew all flew to Seattle to surprise Tati for her birthday on February 14th. That night, we went out to dinner with Tati and James and her whole family, and we're in a restaurant. There was a cute boy across the restaurant that I kept making eye contact with and that I was interested in. And the conversation of dating for me and Jeffree both came up at the dinner table, and we were talking about it for a very, very short period of time. The conversation never got inappropriate. Period. In his video and in the screenshots that I have, Sam mentioned that he was perfectly fine and found the flirting that I was doing flattering. So I'm not really sure why this got turned into something much bigger, but it simply was not.
And he was looking at me. Later on that night, he started talking to the other employees about me, asking me if I had a Valentine. This was on Valentine's Day, where he especially thought that I was very attractive and he wanted to get my phone number and all that. But the wait staff at my restaurant didn't let that happen. He left and it kind of just went untalked about.
The I'm a celebrity thing is really incredibly frustrating to me because this is an inside joke between my friends and I that Tati has also participated in, and she twisted this to be something far worse than what it is. This is the joke that really is where we say I'm famous, not I'm a celebrity, and it's something that we don't say in public very often because without context, I get it, it looks and sounds really, really bad, trust me. Literally, famous is synonymous with anything good. So yeah, if my YouTube video does well one day, my friends will say, oh my God, James, you're so famous. But literally, if my friend takes a good Instagram photo, oh my God, you're so famous. If our boneless buffalo wings at Chili's are extra delicious one day, oh my God, these wings are so, so famous. It has nothing to do at all with fame, power, or money, which is what Tati alluded it to being, and it is so frustrating that she turned an innocent and funny inside joke that she has participated in into something so beyond disgusting. The next day, Sam slid into my DMs first, and I happened to see it. We started talking back and forth, and he mentioned that he was flattered by me flirting with him the night beforehand.
Sorry about last night, you're very attractive. And then I responded with, it's all good, very flattering actually.
A few minutes into the conversation, I asked him about his sexuality, and he told me straight up that he was bisexual.
Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay.
There was no straight men being manipulated anywhere in the story like Tati mentioned. Later on in the conversation, he asked when I was leaving Seattle, and I told him the next morning, to which he responded, I wish we had time to hang out, and I said, hey, why don't you come over to my hotel tonight? We can watch a movie together. He said, sounds good. Later on, he messaged me first and told me, hey, straight up, I've never done anything with a guy before. I'm a little bit nervous. To which I told him there was absolutely no pressure. This is all shown in the screenshots. Sam showed up at the hotel. We watched the movie together and we cuddled. After the movie, I asked him if he wanted to kiss, to which he said yes.
I get to the hotel room. We say hi. It's all fine. We end up watching a movie. And after that movie, he asked to kiss me. I said yes. And we ended up making out for around an hour. And if I'm being honest, he's the worst kisser I've ever kissed. Way too much tongue.
All right, note taken. After making out with Sam for over an hour, I did invite him to sleep over at the hotel.
And he kept telling me to stay, like, please stay, don't leave me. All this and that, but I really wanted to go home. So I left. Of
course, I wanted to spend more time with him, but he said that he wanted to go home and be in his own bed and think about everything that was going on because it was quite a lot, and I definitely understood and did not blame him. He then left and sent me a message afterwards thanking me for being so understanding, and I told him that I would always be there for him if he needed literally anything. Point being, everything that happened in the hotel room was 100% consensual, and this is confirmed.
I said yes.
By the only two parties that were actually there being myself and Sam. After this night, Sam and I continued to talk for the next several weeks. At first, it was really great, but I noticed that his feelings towards me and sexuality were kind of wavering quite a lot, and I came to the conclusion that he needed to figure himself out and that I needed to move on because I kept getting hurt. Last important note to keep in mind about the timeline of the whole situation. On May 2nd, Sam texted me from his friend's phone saying that he was fully gay and needed to talk to me about something important. I called him, and instead of talking about that, he asked me if I was talking to another guy at the same time that I was talking to him. I was a little bit confused as to why I was being asked this, but I did answer him honestly, and then I asked him what made him come to a conclusion with everything. To which he said, I'm actually not fully gay. After dealing with this a million times, I was frustrated, and I hung up. Sam texted me saying he was fully gay, but it was a trap to get me on FaceTime so he could illegally record the conversation to include in the video that he was planning later on. Like I said, at the end of the conversation, I asked Sam how he came to this conclusion, and then he told me he was not fully gay, to which I hung up out of frustration. Later on, he texted me saying he was confirmed bi. This is why, in Sam's video, he included a screenshot of me telling him I did not think he was fully straight. This comment had a lot of people really upset and confused as to why I was telling somebody their sexuality, but there's a very simple explanation. Sam and I talked for a very long time, and his sexuality, like I said, wavered a lot. Every time that he was a little bit confused, we had open and honest conversations about it, and he always asked me my input, and I gave it to him. Point blank period. I reached out to many of my different friends for advice. There was one night in my kitchen where Tati, James, and Gabriel all came over, and I told them the same exact story and showed them the same exact screenshots that all of you guys just saw. After hearing this, like Tati said in her video, Tati and James actually did have a heart-to-heart conversation with me about the boys that I get involved with. They told me that talking to curious guys was going to continue to get me hurt, and that also it could look really bad from an outside perspective if somebody tried to manipulate the situation. I wish I knew at the time that Tati's advice was really a warning, because she did exactly what she told me someone else may, which was tell my story with no details, no facts, and no proof, and twist it around, and now serious allegations have surfaced that could permanently damage my career. Boys have obviously been a topic that has been discussed quite in detail on my YouTube channel and social media networks. This is no secret. I wish it hadn't been, but if I'm gonna talk about it one last time, I definitely wanna be open and honest with you guys, the ones who matter. I came out of the closet as gay at age 12, which is honestly really young to kind of figure all of that out. I had two other boys in my school at the time who were gay, but we were all close friends, so nothing was happening there, if you know what I mean. But all my other friends were having their first kiss underneath the playground slide, or getting into their first relationship and talking all about it. And for me, I was on Pop Tropica and social media networks trying to make friends and trying to find out what else I was interested in. I never really got the opportunity to experiment with love and learn from that as a growing teenager, and I think that that's honestly left me kind of underdeveloped as a person in a lot of different ways. I definitely am emotional, and I let that get the best of me sometimes. I can be dramatic, I'm reactive, I'm forward, I'm flirty, and these are qualities that I'm not necessarily proud of at all. A lot of times these situations have become public, my own fault, but having millions of people watching you learn can be very tricky. A lot of times I've talked about being into straight guys. Now, this conversation is something that has upset and also confused quite a lot of people. So in order to provide a little bit more context, I would like to play a clip from Tati's friend Jeffree Star's video titled "The Truth About My Relationship."
I was single for a long time, and the reason why is because I am really not attracted to anyone but what we call in this world as a straight male or a normal dude. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, I am really into straight guys, and I know that is going to not be surprising to a lot of you. So, you know, from just traveling everywhere and meeting dudes all the time and being around that world for so long, I really kind of fell into a trap of always being someone that was kept like the secret. And when you are someone like me who is, you know, I get asked all the time, even every day on my channel, you guys, I get comments, are you a guy? Are you a girl? Are you transgender? Are you trying to transition? What are you? Being someone that is like me, that is a guy that looks like a woman, right? I keep doing this because so many people are not into labels these days, and I love that. I'm all about that. You do you, call yourself whatever you want, whatever you believe in. I think that is the beauty and the freedom of, you know, living, is we can be whoever we want to be. I've always been into straight men, and the problem with that my entire life is I never found real love, because straight men behind closed doors, they love people like me, they love hooking up, they love having fun, they love the relationship as long as other people don't know.
I really like this clip from Jeffree's video because not only is everything in it very accurate, but I honestly feel like he did a great job of explaining a topic that is very confusing and complex and that not a lot of people understand, including me fully, to be honest. Yes, as a gay man, I am attracted to men, and in the past, whenever I have found a guy cute on Instagram or on social media, I have slid in the DMs with a simple hello or a nice compliment. If anybody ever made it clear that they were not interested or were not gay and didn't want to talk, I always apologized for the unwanted attention, and the conversation was put to a halt immediately.
Point blank, period.
A few different guys that I've talked to in the past have since came forward with their stories or posted screenshots of conversations that I had with them saying that I made them feel uncomfortable, and reading some of them, I honestly felt really, really bad. I reached out to all the boys directly and apologized to them for my actions. But aside from those few guys, people are treating hashtag James Charles's over party as an open invitation to add to the narrative with lies, which is not only harmful to me, but it's also creating very, very dangerous stereotypes around the LGBTQ+ community. For example, Zara Larsson, who's a pretty big singer, tweeted saying that I messaged her boyfriend multiple times knowing he was straight. And this tweet got almost 500,000 likes before it was deleted. In her defense, she did later on say that it was only one message, but it was way too late because the media had already ran with it, saying that I was harassing straight men and wouldn't leave him alone. Had I known that he was dating Zara Larsson, I clearly never would have messaged him in the first place, but this is all very hypocritical considering this is how Zara Larsson found her boyfriend. I'd like to pose a question to you, the audience, and ask, why is it okay for Zara Larsson, a woman with a public platform, to tweet these photos of a shirtless man and say, who are you, where do you live, how old are you, why are you so fine, and how do you like your eggs cooked in the morning? But for me, as a gay man, to DM the same person in private with a simple compliment is predatory. These stereotypes around gay men have been and continue to be very, very harmful to the community and have been historically used to villainize gay men in society. Someone completely fabricated a whole entire story about me touching another boy in a high school urinal, and it blew up. This person came forward a few days later saying that it was a social experiment, but it was too late.
Oh, hell no!
Okay. People also completely photoshopped Twitter DMs of me reaching out to these people, threatening legal action if they were to tweet more things, when in reality I have literally not even been on social media, and I deleted the Twitter app from my phone. I've dealt with so many fake stories in the past, from Coachella, the fake sex tape, and now this, and I'm done. I'm done being the subject of these bandwagon stories for likes. It's not okay. Somehow, there's still a whole lot more to this story and more claims as well. In Tati's video, she said that she felt she needed to bring all of this to the public eye because people needed to know what's going on behind the scenes, and I truly cannot believe that I'm about to bring up what I'm going to bring up, but I feel the same exact way. On Monday, May 6th, Jeffree posted this tweet to his Twitter, which I instantly started getting tagged in. After this tweet and a few other ones from him and his friends, I decided to reach out to him and ask if there was something going on that I should be aware of. He replied to me and he said that it was not about me and that it was about another brand stealing his ideas. This message was in a voice memo, which has since disappeared from the screenshot. You'll just have to believe me. I have literally no reason to lie at this point. Even though he said it wasn't about me, I still asked to talk to him, but he said he was unavailable. A few hours later, while I was getting ready for the Met Gala, I got this text from Jeffree. Concerned but mostly really confused, I reached out to him about meeting together in private in hopes to speak together and figure out the misunderstanding, but he didn't reply. 3 days later, still no response. I decided to reach out again, but he was not available to talk. I flew to Australia on May 8th, and on May 10th, hours before my scheduled meet and greet appearance where 5,000 fans were already waiting outside, I was woken up at 4 in the morning by my friend because Tati had just uploaded her video titled "By Sister." Watching Tati's video, it was very clear to me that my friend was still very hurt, and even though I had already apologized both privately and publicly, I wanted to make a video right then and there with my raw and honest emotions. But because of the time difference, it took me an extra few hours to film the video and get it up, and by the time I was about to hit publish, I received yet another text from Jeffree Star. I've already cleared up Sam and our night together being 100% consensual. He was absolutely not trapped in a hotel room, but Jeffree also brings up Zach. Zach is his boyfriend Nate's brother, and not only did I not pursue Zach, who identifies as mainly straight, but it was actually Jeffree who suggested that I talk to him in the first place.
Hey, Nate's brother is single and mainly straight, right up your alley.
Sounds good.
And he...
Sounds great for me.
And he just moved here, work.
Zach and I talked on Snapchat for maybe a total of 10 selfies back and forth to each other. He was super sweet, but it was very clear to me that he was not actually interested, and the conversation stopped before anything could even get remotely flirty at all. A few days later, on Monday, I woke up again in the middle of the night from a phone call from my little brother Ian, who was very upset. He told me he had tweeted saying, "Why do people act so tough online?" about somebody from his hometown who was bullying him, and Jeffree Star, of all people, had quote tweeted Ian's tweet saying, "Why is your brother a predator? Why did you really move back to New York City? Exactly, shut the fuck up." Many people were quick to call out Jeffree for bullying a kid who had nothing to do with the situation literally at all, and he deleted the tweet. After this, I went to check my phone and noticed that Jeffree had texted me a few minutes prior, and I opened my phone to this. I really want to read this text out loud, just so you all get to hear exactly what I had to read, but also so I don't miss anything. "Grayson is going on camera shortly to finally tell the world how you tried to molest him and touch him in his sleep and made him uncomfortable for months, you sick motherfucker. Next, Zach will be going on camera to tell how twisted and sick you were, trying to get him to like you and then make him feel bad when he didn't want to send you photos back. Then Sam from Seattle will be joining me and Cameron to talk about you trapping him in his hotel room. You need to be locked in prison for a very long time. You need the internet taken away from you. You are a danger to society."
What?
As disgusting as it is, I have to admit, bringing up Grace and Dolan was pretty clever. At the height of all these allegations and stories going around, both of the twins unfollowed me, not wanting to be associated, and fans started speculating that the rumors could be as to why. Too bad that aside from our pre-planned collaborative jokes that happened in the Sister Squad videos, me and Grayson flirting, nothing ever happened between us. And when all this went down, I knew Jeffree was lying because the twins were two of the first people to call me and make sure that I was okay. Later on that day though, Jeffree was right. Sam did upload a video to his YouTube channel telling the whole story. He left out almost all the details and included an illegally recorded FaceTime call, which was on May 2nd, told you to remember that. But even through all of this, he still managed to get the point across that our interactions were 100% consensual. Next was Jeffree's tweet to my little brother Ian. Now, I did say that this video was going to be solely based on facts, and I of course can't prove what Jeffree was trying to imply here, and I don't want to put words into his mouth. But since it's now open for speculation, might as well clear the air. Ian actually went home for a few different reasons, but it's temporary. He had to get his wisdom teeth taken out, and he's also working on different modeling opportunities in New York City. But he was also having a really hard time in LA. Dealing with a public breakup and negativity online sent him into diagnosed clinical depression, which he is now being treated for, and he wanted to be with my parents. Nothing more. Last but finally not least, Jeffree posted this tweet claiming he hadn't seen me since February and that Nate banned me from their home. Now, this so-called ban is the first time I'm ever hearing of this, and I just think it's really funny that Jeffree brought this up, considering the fact that he's tweeted me twice in between February and now saying that he missed me. Regardless, he ended that tweet by saying I was a danger to society and everything in Tati's video was 100% true. Adding insult to injury, not only did Jeffree text me, but he also went out of his way to text my best friend, Drew, this lovely message trying to turn him against me. Jeffree's messaging about me both in private and in public was hurtful, defamatory, extremely excessive, but most importantly, literally all based on lies. I wish I knew why he was doing all this, but at the same time, his track record with public feuds makes none of this a surprise. Hello, Future James here popping in again. I've been completely honest with my whole timeline thus far, and I obviously want to keep doing so I feel like it is only fair to mention that only within the past few days, pretty much everyone involved with this situation has started to reach out to me in some way, shape, or form. Sam Cook, the boy from Seattle, has called me 9 times and sent me a few different text messages about the situation, trying to make things right. Tati and her husband James have tried to reach out in order to schedule a meeting, but only through a mutual YouTube rep that we share. And I've also heard from that same person that Jeffree was open to a meeting as well. This whole thing has just been really difficult for me because throughout the past 3 weeks, literally all I've wanted and all I've asked for was for communication from these people, and I tried really, really hard to get that, and I didn't. So I declined the meetings because I felt like this was started publicly and it was addressed publicly, and I felt like it was only fair for me to address this publicly as well before meeting behind the scenes and talking further. And I hope that one day we all can sit down together in a meeting for closure, because everything that happened still really, really hurt. And I like wouldn't wish what I went through upon even my worst enemy, no matter how angry I was. And my head and brain for a hot minute went to a place so dark that I didn't think that I was going to come back from. To my sisters, I'm sorry if I disappointed you, and I'm really sorry that you had to watch all this go down. You saw a side of me that I'm really not proud of and that I know I need to work on changing, and trust me, I will be. But also to my sisters, thank you. Thank you for the messages and the tweets and the emails and the comments that I've received over the past week, making sure that I was okay. And the same thank you goes out to all the fans that were concerned but offer constructive criticism in hopes that I'd be better. It does not go unnoticed, and you guys helped fill my heart with love when I truly didn't think anything would be able to. The same thank you also goes out to all my influencer friends that reached out to me in private to make sure I was okay during all of this. When it felt like the entire world hated me, it was really comforting to know that there were other people that understood the situation that were willing to show their love. I think that is all I got at this point. Thank you for watching if you made it all the way to the end, and in the spirit of turning something negative into a positive, bye, sister.